So we just returned from a leaders retreat from the 8th to the 12th of January. And I want to, let me just close my WhatsApp. Okay. Just returned. And this was actually our 12th leaders retreat. And this time we were in Chiang Mai. Let me share my slides. Here we are. Okay. So our first ever leaders retreat was in Siem Reap, okay, in 2013. That was 12 years ago. Okay. So the question is, why do we do it year after year? Okay. Consider that we already go on so many holidays. Okay, especially those of us who have since retired. We do a lot of holidays. This time we are 12 years older. Many of us in our 60s and 70s. Somehow January is not a good time. Okay, after a long year-end break for Christmas, there's this urgency of those of us who are getting into the bit or doing the business. This urgency of getting the business started in the new year, and then we know that Chinese New Year is coming very soon, and then we are going for this break. Especially for me, this break in momentum, this break in my daily habits is what I dread, because I have to restart the difficult disciplines, especially the physical exercises. You know, they're really painful. So today I want to share with you what we did, and that may help you understand, you know, why leaders go on a retreat. Okay, why leaders retreat? For me, the leaders retreat is critical for the leadership journey because it's the journey of mastery, okay, of continuous improvement, continuous and never-ending improvement that Anthony Robbins talks about. This is a long journey, okay, and so the purpose, what's the purpose of the leader? This is the long journey, and all long journeys need breaks. Why do we need a break? We need a break to rest. We need a break to recharge. We need a break to re-energize. Okay, we need a break to rebuild, and then to rejoice. That's the celebration and have fun. That, you know, fun is essential, something to look forward to at the end. For me, I get to practice the 6R, and that is to practice recovery. Okay, this is the recovery to get back to routine that continues this relentless practice of mastery. Okay, because it's a relentless practice, we must take breaks, but we need to learn how to get back to recover. Okay. Now, there is some fear before going to a leaders retreat, you know, where one key aim is to have us stretch. Okay, we stretch by surrendering to surprises. We stretch by shifting plans. You know, that's part of the personal development training. Yeah. Now, I'm comfortable with being uncomfortable, all that kind of adventure stuff. My stretch is practicing recovery. I would far rather not go and play too much to avoid the pain of having to come back and then restart the engine. Some of us, you know, understand what I mean. Okay. Now, but this 12th leaders retreat in Chiang Mai was hugely successful and definitely worth the stretch. Now, this is what we did in the 4 days in Chiang Mai. First of all, the leaders retreat always starts with a planning day. Okay, 1 day of serious stuff where we look at the blessings in 2023, and then we look at set some goals. I talk about business. Okay, so that was done in Singapore this time. Then we went to Chiang Mai for the play part, and this is what we did. Okay, so we arrived in the morning of Tuesday. We checked into the hotel. We went to Maya Shopping Center. Then we did a long walk, 10,000 steps or more in the old city. We had dinner in a Michelin star restaurant. Then the next 2 days were just full of activity: caving, kayaking, jungle trek, all-terrain vehicle. You know, for final dinner, and then we left. Okay, so now Jeff and HT, they worked the longest and the hardest. Okay, their leaders retreat started much earlier because they were planning the itinerary. And to me, to see the smile of satisfaction on Jeff's face when he saw what we went through is really priceless. Okay, so you know, I presented at the end of the whole thing. I presented them with a hat. This is HT. And of course, this is Jeff. I think he loves this sunny hat. Okay. So that was Jeff and HT who started working earlier. Now, Jeff himself had a lot of fun. Okay, he helped us over many obstacles during the trek in particular. And when I asked for his favorite photo, this was his favorite photo actually. Photo taken together with the 3 instructors for the all-terrain vehicle experience. Why? Because he showed his gratitude for people who are helping us get a great experience. So helping is a big thing with Jeff. And when he posted in Facebook, his old friend Jacqueline Koh said, "Well, you've mellowed, because you certainly weren't that supportive when we trekked Nepal." Okay. So I first met Jeff when we were doing Kilimanjaro in 2016. We were doing a training thing, and he wasn't at all very patient and friendly. In fact, he was wondering, who are these people so slow? I want to get on to training on the stairs. But it just shows that over the years, we do change, we do transform, and that's a beautiful thing. Okay, so thank you, Jeff. He has certainly transformed. Now, HT was always been helping. So he and Jeff, they compete with who they can help across. So they like it when they're helpless people. Okay, but he was steady, succeeded in accepting circumstances, changes. He managed his mood really well, and he managed our money with ease. So managed his mood and our money with ease, and really a servant leader. And of course, he is backed up by Pek Lin, okay, who was more than just an accompanying spouse. She's always alert for opportunities to serve. She was a cheerleader, and then she really deeply appreciates the adventures, which are normally done by people half her age. Okay, this is an example of both of them on the ATV. Okay, and she's an example, of the slight age having transformed since her first leaders retreat many years back. Now, Susan had breathing issues. She was coughing badly before the trip throughout. But she showed what burning desire looks like by turning up for the retreat. Some of us were hoping she wouldn't turn up because she's coughing so much, but she was no way she's not going to turn up. And she enthusiastically participated in all manner of fun, which involved fear, frolicking, and food. I say the 3 F's: fear, frolicking, and food. So here she is, just enjoying paddling in the nature, looking at all the things left and right, doing most of the work because I was just having a great time. She was such a great paddler. She just loved chasing butterflies, all these little things. She was really interested her. They brought out the child in Sue, and this one is here. She's driving the ATV like she drives at home, like a wild person. Okay, that was her favorite picture. Now, Joshua was the ultimate, what I call, servant photographer. Okay, delightfully capturing memories for all. Now, we are delightful about the memory, but he delighted in capturing these memories. Here, this picture, I insist on him being the subject. So, we take a picture together. And he stretched himself as the only person. All of us were in double kayaks. Okay, he was only on a single person, and he can't kayak very well. But he just went there and managed to, when you move downstream, leverage on the current is easy. And I noticed, because I was behind him on the ATV ride, he really relished the ride. Okay, and it released a bit of a maniac in him. He was driving really hard. Okay, so that's Joshua. Okay, Sharon. Okay, so Sharon showed up, what I call her brilliant angel nightingale self, that nurse taking care of people. She was just taking photos, selfies, Wi-Fi's. Here she's taking one of the many Wi-Fi's. She found her fearlessness in driving and the all-terrain vehicle, and she doesn't drive. Okay, it was her first time. She's not a car driver, but she said she adopted the secret of most success, following a mentor who is leading the way. Okay. And so here she is, and Chiang, both of them first time non-drivers, on the ATV, very brave. And Amos smoothly, integrated back into our group. And I think the good thing for him here was he overcame his fear of driving hard. He had a recent go-kart incident, and there's this fear, and this time he overcame that fear by driving hard throughout the 3-hour ATV session. So good to have Amos back. Then we have Chong. Okay, so Chong, I say, has just do it spirit. Okay, if it's to be done, he just do it. Don't think too much about it. He doesn't think too much. Okay, he's willing to try everything. Okay, and this photo taken on the jungle trek was chosen by him because it shows the teamwork. Okay, where the strong helps the weak and no one is left behind. Okay, the strong helps the weak and no one is left behind. His other favorite picture was actually a picture that I picked without him picking it. It's him kayaking with Hoxing. Look at their coordination, perfect coordination, which is why they are so far ahead compared to the rest. See, the rest are floundering by the bend now, all getting langa, stuck in the bend. But yeah, they are perfect coordination. And the lesson he said is, showing support and alignment is important to move forward towards the goals. Showing support and alignment is important to move forward towards the goal. It's interesting we learn these principles, out there doing quite fearful things, actually paddling when you can't paddle. But look at how beautiful it is. Okay, and finally, Chong has got two slides. Okay, this is Chong. His never give up spirit. Okay, this is his 7th attempt under the waterfall. Let me play this for you. Yeah, where is it? Sorry. Where's the good old Chong. Okay, so Hui Xuan is our CEO. Okay, CEO stands for Chief Entertainment Officer. Okay, and she did an excellent job doing what she does best. So we want people to be doing the best of, what they're good best at, so we can all have the best experience. And in this case, she chose the best possible experiences. I say within practical constraints, so that we could have wonderful eating experience. We had two nights at Michelin starred restaurant. But her versatility extends to even this favorite food, which we ate over 2 days. 100 baht for 3 of this khao lam, which is glutinous rice in a bamboo tube. Okay. And she learned to face her fears in kayaking and also driving the ATV. This is her what I call demolishing her limiting beliefs. This is what she said: I had real fear of toppling over, of injury, of doing something silly, of panicking and losing control of the vehicle, which she did twice. Limiting belief that I can't do this, I'm no good at this sort of thing, that the time on the circuit is not enough for me to be competent to drive this machine for 2 hours out there. Okay. And so, she had real fun. Okay. Hoxing. Okay, it was Hoxing's first time with us. He's a lieutenant colonel in the reserve. Okay, he's a veteran in life, been through a lot of things in life, and I was sure he would learn a lot of new things. And true enough, he discovered new things. He rediscovered his joy for the outdoors, and found out that his health had improved so much in just 1 year. Okay, here he says he discovered, this was his favorite movie. He discovered team. He discovered himself, and then in those big caves that we were in, he discovered the power and mystery of nature, which reminds him to be humble. So all great people need to be reminded to be humble. And I chose this extra picture for him, just as a reminder of his spirituality, a deep awareness that it is not by his efforts that we change the world. Okay. Myself, I just love the outdoors. I love this picture, which I think Joshua must have been Joshua that took it, or was it Susan? I love that. Every photo is my favorite photo, but Joshua sent me this particular photo on Saturday night. It's me fixing Hui Xuan's shoes. I asked him, why did you choose this photo? And this is what he said. He said, you heard Hui Xuan's feedback on her damaged footwear. You were aware and consciously looking for solutions. When you found a suitable string, you promptly acted to solve her problem. I saw the moment and captured that moment in time where you exhibited servant leadership and care for another. Thank you, Joshua, for that. Bless you. And this is a picture I found actually from my son Dan the man's book, Growing Thoughts on Servant Leadership. it was about washing feet. This is as close to washing feet as that. Okay. And then, of course, God gave us, thank you, God, for giving us 4 perfect days of weather in contrast with the rain that greeted us when we returned to Singapore. He kept us safe in every aspect. Okay. So in summary, going back to, so let me show some group photos. Okay. So these are some group photos of ATV. Joshua loves this. He looks so macho. Look at him. This turned out to be a favorite picture, Jeff. Okay, we had so many people looking at it. Look, don't mess with us, I said here. This was outside the caves, this group photo in the caves. Joshua liked this photo because we managed somehow to shift so that we could all get into this small little space to take a group photo. Okay, and then kayaking, finally. Okay, now this is my final group photo. This is outside the hotel when we first arrived, a nice hotel, but we are flexible. We can shift. We can take off our clothes. We can have fun outdoors in the waterfall. This is the ultimate value of team environment. Okay. Now, I want to just take a bit more time, if you may. Okay, this leaders retreat was like going back to school at the start of the year to learn our ABCs, and it's actually as easy as ABC. Okay, what did we create? Okay, we created adventure, adrenaline. That's really important. Keeps us alive. We created bonding. Okay, being together, supporting each other, sharing things, sharing food. Okay, we created confidence, doing new things, seeing our personal progress. Having professionals as operators really gives confidence. Okay, we had competent drivers, we had gifted guides, we had hotel staff that aim to delight us. I mean, this really is all part of building confidence. We can learn from these people. Okay, we created delight. The food, the weather, dry, cool at night, in the morning, the waterfall, the kayak water fights. All these were delightful experiences. And finally, of course, we created the environment to be leaders. HD reminds us, age is just a number. And true, age does not determine how we think or how we act. This is our 12 leaders retreat. We have done it many times, but it's still new and fresh, like every new morning. And finally, on age, we are 12 years older. We're already in our 60s and 70s, but we have kept young in body, in mind, and in spirit. Okay. This is really very, very inspiring. And we can take this and share this can-do spirit with people. I mean, we are only 60, 70. We got 20, 30, 40 years to live. Okay. And when Amy saw our post, she said, "This is really fun. How I hope Gary and I could join you guys." I said, "It's probably too tame for you." And Amy said, "It's the community fun, not the intensity itself." So Amy gets it about community. If you want to be a force for good, and you want to have good fun, you want to be community. Okay. Now, finally, it's at the start of the year. We have just set big goals. Okay. This year we are setting 10x goals, and so we've got to pull this ball, really far back to launch far ahead. Okay. So it's like, why do we retreat? Because retreating is going back when we want to advance. Okay. So the bow is an illustration. You want to go far, you got to pull the bow further back. So I leave you with a summary quote on why leaders retreat. Okay. Because a retreat is a recipe to rebound. Okay. A retreat is a recipe to rebound. Now, what's next? I want to say, for all of you, a retreat is ultimately a report card. Do you qualify to sit the test? Did you do your homework so that you get to a leaders retreat? Did you pass with flying colors? And my final question is, will you be at the 2025 leaders retreat? Okay, so tomorrow, Tuesday tips will be by Hock Seng, who will talk to us about some serious business matters. So thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll bid you farewell. Okay, if I can.